Hey gang, hope you guys are doing all right. I wanted to record a quick video for you all here at the end of the week. Just as like a weekly wrap up and to kind of give you an idea of what's coming down the pipeline next week. We are in this weird transitional place. We're like halfway through the fourth quarter quarantine situation. I don't know, halfway already. How crazy is that? And there's definitely some changes and some more guidance that we're getting that should be here today, which means I should be able to get all of that information to you on Monday. Expect a video on Monday kind of detailing the specifics of what we're looking at for the remainder of the school year. But that's kind of like what we're doing here, all right? So bear with me as I talk through a couple of things and make sure that we're all on the same page. Before I get started, I'll say it again at the end. Do me a huge favor. Make sure your friends that are in my class are at least watching the videos, all right? Some of us are... Okay, some of us are kind of sucking at this right now. We're definitely slacking. We're not taking it seriously. And you're going to hear this again and again and again. If you're not taking this seriously, you'll be taking it seriously over the summer. Or next year when you retake the class, I guess. Why would you do that to yourself when right now you have probably the easiest version of my class you'll ever have? I'm rambling. We'll get there. All right, number one we need to look at is the grading and progression in this class. Now, this is something I talked about on Wednesday in that video, and I feel like some of us just haven't watched it. I want to make sure like I'm repeating it so many times because it matters, all right? They're going to give me 5 to 7 standards that are like the things that we should be able to do after this fourth quarter of school. I have to be able to gauge those. I gauge those things through assignments, all right? I will be getting that official list today, hopefully, which means that by Monday, I should have a video for each class, so expect this video, where I walk you through those 5 to 7, let's call them 6 because 6 is in the middle, those 6 standards, those skills, and we'll see if there's anything we've done already that covers them and see what we need to do moving forwards, all right? Everything I talk about from now on is tempered by the fact that we are going to get 5 to 7 skills that we've got to make sure we have done. All right. Now, those are going to be graded, but they're not going to be graded using a numerical system. It's not going to be you get an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. It's going to be a 0, 1, or a 2. A 0 means you didn't do it. Like, that sounds pretty straightforward, right? An incomplete means is a 1, and that means that you did some of it, you tried, but you didn't do everything you were supposed to do. All right, that means that if I asked you to write me a paragraph, you turned in 1 sentence. If I asked you to talk about figurative language and vocabulary, you only talked about vocabulary, you only talked about figurative language, whatever. A complete is a 2 out of 2, and it just means that I asked you to do this, and this, and you did this, and this, all right? Should be very easy to get a 2 for these assignments. I will make sure on the Canvas course, I tell you explicitly, here's what I need. If you've been doing my assignments so far, you already know that's what I do. Even if there's not a numerical element attached to it, I tell you, here's what you need to do. You've got to give me a paragraph about this, a paragraph about this, a paragraph about this. Boom, cool. 2, you did it. You did that for each of these standards. You finished my class. No EOC, sorry. No EOC, no NCFE, no final, just did you do it? Cool. Now, if you've not been doing assignments, we're in a bad spot. Some of us have decided that they don't have to do everything. They've decided it doesn't matter. I'm just not going to do it. He's going to pass me anyways. I got bad news for you. Mr. Harris sent out a email recently to everybody in the MCHP community, which means I assume you probably didn't read it because it seemed like a lot of work. Let me pull something for you. All right. This is directly quoted from that email. Students who do not show they understand the major ideas and who do not complete each assignment between March 16th and the end of the school year will receive withdrawal for that course. Now, March 16th is when we started quarantine. It's not right now. That is not March 16th. This is April 17th. It's a month later. So all of those assignments that I've assigned since we started this thing matter. If you do not, it doesn't say some of, it doesn't say a few, it doesn't say most of, it says each, which to me sounds like every assignment, right, has to have been done. So if you're sitting here going, it doesn't matter, I'll just do these 5 assignments and be good, I don't think that's gonna float, my friends. You got to do everything. Now, if you're one of my students who has already been doing everything, and there are a good number of you, you're golden. Just keep doing your thing. Keep knocking it out. If you're one of my students who have decided that this entire thing is just a time for us to play video games or not do work and just blow it off, you might be looking at either a lot of work to catch up or summer school. Because that's the choice, right? Students who don't do all the assignments, you'll either get a completion mark, you did it, move on to the next class, or you'll be withdrawn from the class. Not withdrawn from school, just withdrawn from the class. That withdrawal gives you the opportunity to attend summer school to finish all this stuff, or repeat English 1 or English 3 next school year. I love you guys. I don't want to have to see you again unless it's going from one of my freshmen to English 3. There's no reason you should not be able to get all of this done. You have an ample amount of time. Now, I'm going to double back on what I just said. If you're somebody who legitimately cannot finish all of this work because being at home is a crazy circumstance that I could never understand, cool, I understand. Well, I understand that I don't understand. You need to communicate that with me. All right? I have fought a lot for each and every one of you. But some of you are playing this game where you just don't do the work and assume we're going to keep fighting for you. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm actually getting towards my limit with some of you guys about what you're doing or not doing because it's insane. And it's not fair to the people who are coming in here and working hard every day for you to pass the class by doing nothing and for them to pass the class by doing everything. So I apologize. I'm putting myself in the court of the people who are putting their work in. All right. Cool. If you have questions, I have office hours 12 to 2 every single school day. You have access to my Google phone, whatever. So I can't stress this enough. If you have not been doing assignments for my class, now's the time to start. Because if you decide on the last week of school, you're going to make up all of these assignments, you're not. I can't imagine doing that. I'm the one who made them and I couldn't do them all in 1 week. You got to get on this. All right. So I'll come back to this later, I am sure, because this is super important. This is the most important thing. But real quick, heads up for each of your classes, what you're looking at for next week. Next week brings English 1 into part 3 of 1,000 Splendid Suns. If you finished part 2, which I assume you have, you know stuff's popping off. Part 3 is intense. There's a lot going on. There is some difficult content in there that you may need to pace yourself through, but it's very, very good. Oops. You'll notice you're reading for 10 chapters in English 1. We're doing all of part 3 over the course of 2 weeks. It would not be a bad idea for you to go ahead and read ahead. If you've done all your work, start reading now. The book's good. You're probably hooked by now anyways. Just go ahead and read it. English 3, we start our novel. We're going to be reading an entire novel over the course of like 3 weeks. So we're going to be jumping into it. All right. It's 3 chapters that you're going to have to read. The chapters are not too long, but they are a little weighty. They are going to require you to actually put some time and energy into it. So just like with English 1, you should maybe think about reading ahead of time. Especially because I guarantee with these new standards coming around, we're going to need to add some readings to our weekly reading stuff. My current plan before these new standards came in was all fiction, which is great because we did a lot of nonfiction earlier. But I am sure some of those standards are going to be nonfiction related. So I'm going to have to be supplementing our reading with additional texts. And these texts will probably be nonfiction, and these texts will probably be things where we're going to be analyzing opinion and bias and authorial intent, which means you're going to have to read it. Which means that if you're already behind on the reading, or you've got to do a bunch of reading and you've also got to read these other assignments, my class is going from a couple of hours a week to a pretty good chunk of time during the week, which is fine to me, but I want to help you guys budget your time as much as you possibly can. So be ready for that. You should be checking my Canvas course every single day. I send out notifications daily. I send them out as announcements. I send them out through Remind, and I sometimes send them out through our class emails. So you should be notified if something new goes up, but also it is your responsibility to check my Canvas course every day, which means if I put something up on Wednesday, you don't have the excuse of, oh, I didn't know it was there, I'm not going to do it. You should be checking every day. You should know by Thursday that it's up there because you should be checking whenever you should be checking. So be aware. Be ready for that. You're still in school. I know it doesn't feel like it for some of us, but you are. And there are still consequences for your actions should you choose to not do what you're supposed to do. All right. Along that line, I'm giving you a heads up right now. Tell your friends, tell your classmates. On Monday, I will be sending out missing assignment notifications, which is to say I will be letting you know what you're missing. Now you can go on Canvas and see what you're missing, but I want there to be a paper trail a mile long where I told you, hey, this is what you've got to do. This is what you haven't done yet. Please do this. All right. Now some of us are missing more than 50% of the assignments that I've given out so far. They're missing a lot of work. If you're missing more than 50% of assignments come Monday morning, I will be calling home for you. I have a list of parent phone numbers. I have a phone that does not go to my private cell phone, so I can call with impunity. I will be making parent phone calls and making sure your parents know what's up. Now, if I can't get in touch with you or your parents, or there's a language barrier where this information is not getting through, I will be passing that information along to the other people at our beautiful school who will help me make sure that your parents know and that you know that you're not holding up your end of the bargain that is online learning in my classroom. Okay? Those of you who have not been doing the work, you know who you are. I also assume most of you haven't made it 13 minutes into a video, so I may be preaching to the choir here, but at least, again, you can see that I'm doing my part to make sure you guys are successful, but it can't go one way. All right. Those of you who are missing large amounts of work this late, we're halfway through, this late in the semester are in jeopardy of attending summer school. I don't know about you guys, but summers are sacred to me. I wouldn't want to have to go and retake English 1 or English 3 over the summer because I was too lazy to get the work done during the school year. Now, I say too lazy, not as a way of insulting people who have legitimate issues, because if you have a legitimate problem getting work done, you need to communicate that with me and your other teachers. I am talking to the people who have chosen to just not do the work for this class and think you're going to get passed forwards. You're not. I'm not doing that. My kindness is at its limit. All right. I know I'm doubling back again, but that's because I'm frustrated and it matters. And it's so easy to do well in this class right now, but it's also super easy to do incredibly poorly if you just choose not to do stuff. All right. I'm going to stop rambling. but it matters, okay? So last thing, a little bit of fun. Right now, one of my favorite things is happening. I've told you all about Games Done Quick. It's a Twitch-based charity where people speed run video games. They play these games very quickly. And all of the profits, people donate and all of this, all the profits go towards a charity. Today started Games Done Quick's CVDQ, Coronavirus Done Quick, in which all of the profits they make, last time I checked, they were close to 15,000 already, and they've only been going for like 2 hours. All of those profits go towards Direct Relief, who are helping provide masks and equipment and support to people who are fighting coronavirus. And seeing as that's what has us all stuck at home and in this predicament to begin with, that seems like a pretty good charity to support. So feel free to, I mean, like I am telling you, you don't have to donate to watch. Jump on Twitch, click on Games Done Quick. It'll probably be one of the top things on your Twitch home screen. Use this link. Watch people play these games. If you've got the opportunity to support charity, support charity. You being in there provides more viewer numbers, which provides more attention to it. And more attention means more people will donate, more money comes in. So just you being a part of this thing helps benefit a very important charity and helps benefit all of us. So that's it. That's my piece. I'm out. It's Friday. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves and you're doing things during the week and doing different things over the weekend so you can keep up with a schedule. It might not seem super important, but I promise if every day starts to feel like a Saturday, it starts to be a little bit of a negative for our mental health. So weekend's coming, treat it like a weekend. Monday's coming, treat it like a Monday. Get that work done. If you're behind, you need to be doing your work. I'm keeping track of it. If you're all caught up, I appreciate it. You're awesome. If you're in my class, which means you're listening to this video, I love you all. I miss you all. I really do wish I was in the classroom right now. It's starting to get to me. Teaching is not the same when I don't get to see you guys, and I really, like, from the bottom of my heart, miss each and every one of you, even you lazy, annoying jokers who aren't doing the work you're supposed to do. Be safe, and I will talk to you on Monday.